We're here to try the rice noodle soup. They just keep adding ingredients on top of ingredients on top of ingredients. So broth becomes super flavorful. 走走走，然后大人路右转。So we're going to the market to get breakfast. And markets always have the best food because they can get ingredients from local vendors, and it's a place where people gather and everybody has to eat. And you can find more traditional options at the markets. It's probably a little intimidating for foreigners or not locals to come eat at a breakfast shop in a market. And this is kind of a more secret local spot that people know about. It's in the alley, so we have to walk through the market a little bit and go into the alley. Ooh, red centered guava. We're here today to get breakfast, and we're getting mǐfěntāng for breakfast at this local market here in Kaohsiung. We're in Yancheng district today, and markets are some of the best places to get food in general. There's fresh food everywhere, and the local vendors get ingredients from fellow market vendors and make food right here from scratch. So we're gonna get mǐfěntāng, which is a rice noodle soup. And this shop has been around for over 60 years, I believe, and it's a local's favorite. It's more out of the beaten path, so most tourists probably don't know about this one, so we're gonna go check it out. I found it. 这边吃可以吗？你坐里面。谢谢。你可以先偷吃哦。谢谢。Oh, 多谢。We're here to try the rice noodle soup, which is called mǐfěntāng. And mǐfěntāng has a thicker rice noodle than regular tang mǐfěn, which is usually made with thin rice noodles. And rice noodles, there are many different kinds of rice noodles. This is mǐfěn, and this is mǐfěntāng, which means a thick rice noodle. And it looks very similar to a different kind of rice noodle called shīmùyú, which is also a different rice noodle, but they usually mix it with sweet potato starch to make it, versus mǐfěn is made with pure rice noodle and usually a long grain rice noodle. This is a milkfish head that you can get. They just simply blanch it and then serve it with a sweet soy glaze and some garlic. So the garlic soy sauce is what they use as a dipping sauce. This is called 过鱼. 过鱼 is like just a kind of fish, so you can get different kinds of fish as your side dish if you want. And it's kind of gelatinous, and it's really simple cooking method. They just blanch it and then serve it with a dipping sauce, which is a really good way to eat and taste the original flavor of the dish. And this is 鱼腰。老板，鱼腰是鱼的什么部位？鱼腰这个，它是鱼的部分。蛋哦。Oh, I just asked the owner, and he said 鱼腰 literally means fish waste, but he said this is similar to like the egg, the roll of the fish. So I've never had it before, so I'm curious, and I'm going to try it and see what kind of texture it gives. This is also super common as a side dish in Taiwan. This is pork skin, so like pig skin, and they clean off all the fat and just use the skin and then blanch it or braise it for a while to make it soft and super gelatinous, kind of bouncy and soft and tender, and also served with a little bit of that garlic soy glaze. And it's delicious. It's one of my favorite side dishes. You order your soup, and then you just pick whatever side dishes you like, and then just eat with it. It's very clean tasting. It's a little salty, but not too salty. And it's flavorful with shallot oil on top. It's a very common condiment in Taiwan. The fried shallot and lard, usually, they add it on top of the dish. And then they also add garlic chives. They chop the garlic chives up and add to the broth. And it also adds to the flavor of the broth a lot. And it's delicious. I like their rice noodle. You can taste the rice. Is it good? Do you like that one? I was wrong. So instead of, this is not garlic, it's ginger in the sauce. Ginger is often used to help reduce the fishiness. I love how gelatinous the guoyu is. Super bouncy, super QQ, just as Taiwanese people like it. QQ. So usually the way they make this is that they have a really, really, really big pot of broth or of water, starting with water, and then they would keep adding ingredients to it. In the north, because it's pork, so they would blanch all their little side dishes, 小菜, cook in that water, so the broth becomes super flavorful. And here it's the same thing. They use the fish bone to add to the broth, to the water, and just cook it and braise it. They just keep adding ingredients on top of ingredients on top of ingredients. White pepper powder is a super common seasoning for a lot of Taiwanese dishes, and this is no exception. And you can taste it. It's more floral and it's very fragrant. It's got a little hint of spiciness and a little kick, and it's very good. And it's always on the table as well, and you can add more to your liking if you prefer. So this is really hard to replicate at home since they sell so much and so many things. And that's why people don't really make it at home. They would just come here and get a bowl of rice noodle soup. Like, it's affordable and you can get side dishes that you want with it. So a lot of people come to markets to eat food like this as breakfast or for breakfast and lunch. And they usually don't open until very late, so you have to come early. This one in particular opens at 7:30 in the morning, and they close their shop whenever they sell out. We came here and wanting the fish intestines, and it's already sold out. So come early. I've never had the milkfish rice noodles before, rice noodle soup, because I'm in the north most of the time, so it's always pork broth, which is fine, but I like this a lot better. Milkfish is grown and raised in the south. There are a lot of milkfish farms, so milkfish is a super popular fish down here in the south. And it's got a really fine, super fine meat, very tender, very delicious. My mom and I love eating fish head. It's just fun to pick at. Yeah, so the way you eat a fish head, there's not really a rule. You just go at it and find little pieces. It looks very intimidating, but I like to start with the eye because that's just how I did it. And people love milkfish because of how gelatinous it is. You see how bouncy it is, and it's very, very exciting. So you can take the cheek off, and this is so tender, like I could probably crush it with my chopsticks, like this. And just crush it. You're gonna remove bone pieces or suck on it, whatever you pick. And I'm going for the eye. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's the best part. If you like the gelatinous texture, definitely get the fish head, because that's really all it is. It's just gelatinous goodness. It's got a very different texture compared to other parts of the fish's body. I'm just going to keep eating this. Of course, watch for little spikes. Eat slow. Eat slow is the key. Taiwanese people don't waste food. Every part of an animal, a fish, is used for a dish. And that's why I love Taiwanese food. If you choose to eat an animal, if you choose to eat meat, this is how it should be. It shouldn't be just one part of the food. It should be all of it. The 鱼腰, the fish waste, has a very interesting texture. It's like really firm on the outside. Almost feels like it's got a wrapper.
More meaty.
Yeah, it's like very meaty. I love trying new things I haven't had before, which is fun. So don't be afraid to order. When you go to the markets here, you can buy just the heads and then take it home and cook it however way you want it. The most popular cut for milkfish is the milkfish belly. And you can't just eat the belly, so all parts should be served. Look at how gooey this is. Woo!
That's the big mystery. Why do eyeballs have a hard center?
I don't know. If you know why eyeballs are hard in the center, leave a comment. I don't know. 啊，结账，好好吃。嗯啊，两
两个半碗呢，180，180，
八。好，谢谢谢谢老板。那个是鱼腰吧？刚刚吃的那个。
最近好像那个大姐都没看到嘞。
面，好多面。This one's only fish and pork skin, so it's very clean and very neat. Like the reason why it's a little greasy on top is because they add the shallot oil to it, 油葱. Otherwise, it's like very, very clean. And there are so many kinds of different rice noodle dishes. In the rice noodle soup, there are different varieties as well. Like when we say მǐfěntāng, we usually think of it as the thick rice noodle, but there are also thin versions of rice noodle soup. Like in Tainan, I believe they have a 小卷 mǐfěntāng, which is a squid rice noodle soup, and there they use a thinner rice noodle. I think it's just what the chef believes is the best for the dish. So you'll find both, but generally speaking, when you say 米粉汤, people think thick rice noodle, but also not 米苔目. Yeah.
You want to get to drink?
Go back to the coffee shop and drink alcohol. It's only 10:30 and it's so hot. 小狗 Hi, Piggy! 没关系的。哎，回家，回家，回家，回家干嘛？不会啊，很可爱。你乖。